Hey y'all, Fat Guy's back. Believe it or not, I still make videos from time to time. Things have been just very hectic. Wanted to get something out on the 4th of July, but that became Screw Fat Guy Day, so I got my butt kicked. Um, anyway, I wanted to take a look at a couple knives. Surprise. But, this is one I've been kind of curious about, and I really didn't want to invest the money into it because, well, didn't think it would benefit me, and I figured it'd just be a waste. But figured I'd get it out for the educational value, and I kind of liked a few things while doing it. So here we go. Pick me up one of these. This is a little $16 knockoff of the Eldris. It's not a bad, not a terrible knife. I mean, it's got a sharpened spine. Tonto is great for an EDC knife. Picked one of these up because I was curious, wanted to check it out, but of course, I've never had an Eldris, so I needed to pick up an Eldris. Well, finally got one. And this is actually the light duty model. The regular model, as you probably know, has a different grind from here on out. It's got a, it's meant more for carving, and it's got a, flat edge for striking a ferro rod. Apparently, those two alterations require that the knife be about $10 to $20 more expensive than their basic little model that came out later. And as you can tell, I put this thing through some paces. So anyway, I've worked with both of these for maybe about a week and a half, putting it through everything that I do with an EDC knife. Now, for me, there are a few things that you need to have for an EDC knife, or things that you want to qualify for your EDC knife. They're not absolute, but they're something that I try to keep in mind when selecting a knife to carry with me. This is a paraframe knife. It's $8 right now on Amazon. And this is exactly what these were created to compare with, or to, basically beat out. And this one is a high quality knife. It's made by Gerber, and as you can see, the actual frame is what causes the lock, and it's not just some little itty bitty piece of a liner. It just goes in. It is the full part of the frame, so I don't have to worry about this thing coming down on my hands anytime soon. But anyway, what makes a good EDC knife? Has to be inexpensive enough to where you don't mind damaging, destroying, or losing it, which is what took me out of the running for an actual Eldris. This Eldris was $19.99. That was on sale, and that's the light model. The other ones can run from anywhere from $25 at the lowest to $45 if you get all the accoutrements. We'll get to that later. So, again, not really what I want in an EDC knife. This one is $16. Full out, everything that comes with it. There's no second model, nothing. However, it's a little Chinese knife. I can't remember what this thing's called. Sorry. It's a Maxam something. I mean, if you look up Eldris, this is going to be one of the first knives you see. However, this thing has something that I wish that Eldris would take advantage of. See how it does this? This is to basically imitate a fitting that they have for the Eldris that has a band that goes around here and then over here. One thing I found about this, though, is since this snaps, this makes it perfect for putting a belt through, carrying it on your belt, and then when you need the knife, you tilt it. And really, no, I have yet to have this thing tilt on me when I don't need it to. So, yeah, this is a good knife to carry on your belt. When I say good knife, but it was a knife to carry on your belt. The $16 knife, should be in the frame, came with a striker, a ferro rod, and a piece of 95 paracord. It's a little longer than that. The paracord was obviously meant to go around your neck, which this thing isn't conductive of being a neck knife because I don't want to have to pull it up into my face. So I wore it around my belt for a while, and it worked out really well. But it comes with a ferro rod and a striker, too. All those things are what you need to pay $45 for Mora to give you what they have. And I was waiting for you guys in order to do this. Obviously, it sparks. So it's not a bad $16 knife. Feels good in the hand, has rubberized handles, these parts, these grips. Can become a little slippery on this side part here. Straight out of the box, it was able to shave. That's something that the Gerber knife can't do. It's sharp. I mean, for EDC uses, cutting out boxes and stuff, it's good. That brings me to my second thing about what an EDC knife is good for. The reason you have to be worried, you have to be willing to let it go, is what you do with an EDC knife. I work in retail, so they really prefer me not carrying a knife, but the stupid knives they give us are like, they're utility knives that you have to slide up and then move your hand and it'll slide back down. And then there's also a yellow one that has like a little cover over the blade. And those things are dangerous because if you don't hold down the thing very well, your cover's not going to go off, and when you do want it to, it's not going to happen, and when you don't want it to, it might. So anyway, all that aside, so what do you do with an EDC knife in the retail industry? Well, I use it for cutting open boxes, which is perfect for what the Tanto edge there is for, because you can get into some tape and do a shallow cut without injuring anything in the box. Prying things. We have a bathroom door that doesn't have a key, so this becomes the key. Cutting things on a metal surface, chipping your blade and whatnot. And in the way of a neck knife, you can flat out just lose the damn thing. So this little Maxam knife, not a bad feeling knife. I don't know, something about it makes me a little nervous. Could be because I'm a pussy. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. I don't know what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid it's going to slip my hand or something, and my hand's going to come up here and cut on that thing. I'm not sure what I'm worried about, but something about this knife doesn't feel exactly safe. So I'm always careful when using it. So, but $16, you could definitely do worse. Our $20 on sale Mora. When I picked this up, I was kind of dreading some things about it. I mean, it's a Mora knife, so engineering wise, it was going to be perfect. I mean, these things are great knives. I mean, you can't go wrong with Mora. However, they're what they're trying to do with this knife, I don't know. Like I said, I'm rough on knives. If I'm cutting open zip ties with this thing that happen to be covering something metal, I've nipped that blade a couple different times. Uh, Obviously, the Scandi grind was sharp enough to shave with when I got it. Still is in some parts. Uh, Robust little knife. The everything but this checkered part is rubberized, and that thing isn't going anywhere. The one thing that I wish these people would have copied from the Mora that they were trying to copy is its ability to be a neck knife. Because I would much rather have a neck knife this size than I would a belt knife. However, that being said, take a look at that knife. To me, a neck knife should be just a little thicker than this little guy. Not twice to three times the thickness. Because I work in retail. If I'm carrying this knife, I put it underneath my shirt to hide it, well, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. I love neck knives. I love using them as an EDC knife. I've lost quite a few. But, one of the main things is, the big bosses come in, you can hide the knife. This one, kind of hard to do that. So, that's my opinion, obviously. So, don't let that affect if you want to buy this knife or not if you don't share that opinion. Sorry, I've got some traffic behind me. But yeah, I gotta say, I do like that Mora. It feels very well built, and I actually feel a little safer using that than I do the Tonto blade. And I think it just has to do with more rubberizing on the handle. Maybe it doesn't feel as slippery. But anyway, I think I've rambled on enough. But anyway, this comes with 95 paracord. I lost it. This comes with what you see. This is all you get. So, having a little bit of paracord makes it a little easier to carry around. Because really, I don't understand what they expect you to do with just this. There's no belt loop. There's no lanyard. They expect you either to buy it in the kit or buy it separately, but I don't know. I just kind of figured they would have addressed that. Anyway, if you want to see how these two compare, that's the Mora is obviously much better designed, uh, but this one isn't too far off. And I would much rather have a Tonto blade than I would a drop blade while trying to open up packages and whatnot. Oh, the big thing that really kills these things, and here's where the Mora is better than this, is rolls of coins. Usually, you pop open there's usually a beveled edge around them. You pop that off, put it into the changer, and pull it off. Yeah, that was difficult to do with this knife because the point is so big. So there are drawbacks to each one. There's advantages to each one. And they're not bad knives by any standard at all. I don't want you to think that. That is not what I'm trying to get at. But for an EDC knife, this is something that you may want to pack in your bag. something along that lines. But for EDC, I would much rather have some kind of belt knife, which this one can be. But I'd also much rather have maybe a 3-inch knife, not a 2.5, because, well, these things are meant to get purchase on and get some leverage on, but I don't know, unless you're like trying to carve yourself a boat handle or something, you don't really need that. You're doing more delicate work. So, I don't know, it just feels a little like overkill on a knife like this. With something with that short a blade at least. Anyway, that's my gripes out of the way. That is the Mora Eldris light duty compared to the Maxam uh, Maxam knife. Hopefully, by the time I get this out, I will have the correct label on there. I just wanted to do a quick video that turned out to be 16 minutes long. All right. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later. See you later. Enjoy the holidays. No, I'm just getting stupid. Talk to you later. Bye.